I have an attitude of gratitude, and sometimes my mom tells me, she says, you just don't know how to take a compliment, you're always underplaying yourself. But that comes from the very beginning of my journey. When I started off, I didn't go on to become an overnight success story. So those few years, the initial years of my career were the most defining years, and I believe that's what's made me who I am today. I think that's given me a sense of grounding, that I don't let it get to my head. Neither the success nor the failures.
Okay.
I think I found how to balance it and what to take from it and move ahead. I feel I'm a student of life. So I'm always learning, you know, this is going to be a learning for me when I go back. I'm sure I'm going to take a lot from this experience. And that's how this journey has been so far for me. It's going to be my 10th year in this industry this year.
I mean, they say that another thing I read on the internet was between these 5 things, wife, career, fitness, not wife, I mean relationship, for you husband or whatever, career, fitness, sleep and friends. You can only have 3 things in life. Some other things have to...
What did you say?
Like a relationship.
Okay.
Relationship, family, whatever. Career, fitness, sleep and friends. It's hard to be great at all 5. You'll probably be good at 3 only. So my question simple is, do you have enough sleep? Do you get to socialize?
I have to make time. I have to prioritize what I need and how much of me. I mean, I wish I could be everywhere. I'm newly married, so of course my parents keep wanting me to come home, and I'm like, I have another home to also run. I have a career to also look after. I have friends who also are demanding and say, come on, we haven't met in so long. And I have parents who I love, you know, who are my world and who I keep wanting to meet. And I also have, like you said, whether it's fitness or health or sleep, these are things which I have to prioritize for myself as well. But I think it's all about balance. And fortunately, I'm surrounded by people who are very understanding of that. So I think it's, if you put your mind to it, you'll make it happen.
Yeah. Speaking of understanding, even the audience seems to be more understanding. There was a time it was seen as a negative for your career if an actor got married. But nowadays, sometimes it's a boost to your career or whatever. It seems to have no difference. Do you think that's a change that has happened? And of course, is it a welcome change? What are your thoughts on that?
So, when I was getting married, before we publicly announced it, there was a lot of, you know, chatter about, oh my God, why is she getting married now? She's like, you know, there was a lot of, she's just reaching that phase and all of that. But kudos to the audience, because I think they have evolved. We keep saying, oh, to the directors, producers, or to the actors, or female actors who've taken on that. But kudos to the audience, because they see you as a character. They don't see you as so-and-so who comes from this family, or who come, you know what I mean, when they're watching you. If they see everything else of your personal life, then as an actor, we've not done our job. I have to convince you that I am this character. So whether I'm married, whether I'm a mother, whether I'm someone's daughter, whatever that is, that's immaterial in that moment. And I think I can say that post-marriage, I've signed 2 of my biggest films. So I think that's, you know, that's changing now. And I think, of course, we have so many actresses. I think all your top actresses today are all married. So
yeah.
That speaks volumes in itself, that, you know, that's a positive change that's come about.
Yeah, no. Let's talk about this thing, because I think it's important for the youth. Instagram is extremely popular.
Yeah.
But you as an achiever, as somebody with ambition and a hard-working person, you do feel Instagram can be a distraction, or any social media, for example, could be X, or it could be whatever, Facebook, YouTube, all?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're going there to, I mean, it can, like we say, it can be, if you want to, you know, read about certain things, there are beautiful pages which, you know, are richer and all of that. And then sometimes you want to just scroll and see fun, gupshup, or like fashion, all of that. But that can be very time consuming. And also, what you see is the best version of it. Nobody knows the hard work behind that. Even when we put up our pictures, like we were talking backstage, I mean, that one selfie that I've posted, there are 50 selfies in my photo album,
Which you have rejected.
which didn't make it. So I feel somewhere, you know, when young people are looking, they're always seeing the best version. And I feel that's what Instagram has become. There are few people now who are changing that and, you know, speaking about it or putting, trying to be more authentic so that we change these standards and these high expectations or, you know, these unachievable beauty standards and things like that.
Cope with this, you know, we have a 13-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl looking at it growing up and thinking, wow, I have acne. And these are these perfect bodies, perfect lives people. What do you want to say to them?
These are very, very real things that you're talking about, which is why I said that I myself have stopped taking that pressure, because it's not just that 13-year-old girl. Of course, it's all of them. But trust me, it's everyone you're seeing on Instagram. They're all going through the same shit.
Really?
Sorry, pardon my language.
Really?
But everyone is going through this. Of course, it's all becoming like, you know, this whole culture of putting up these perfect pictures. I think, like, I'm bored of seeing that. If I see another picture like that, I'd want to unfollow the account because I feel there's just too much. I don't know, I find like imperfections, or you want to see something more relatable.
Yeah.
Also, that's why I said, I think you need to, in a day, the first thing you do in the morning cannot be waking up and going on social media.
That's, I think, great.
I feel, give yourself that 1 hour. That's what I do. When I wake up, my first 1 hour, I try not even looking at my phone, even though I know I have to like attend to work calls, and that's probably the only reason why I would, because in my job we don't have timings. But I still make that 1 hour for myself, whether I want to meditate, read a book, which I'm trying to do for very long, whether I want to, you know, just have my breakfast, then go to the gym, have a routine, have a certain structure in your life, just for yourself. And I feel when you realize how much that'll help you grow as a person, keep your, you know, what I noticed when I started doing this is that whether it's anxiety, fear, all these emotions, all these negative emotions, sometimes creep in the way even when you're just scrolling and you don't realize it. It's so subconscious. But if I had to remove that, and my first 1 hour of my day was not, you know, it did not start like that, you just realize how much more enriched you are, how much more present you are, you know, and taking in this moment. And I think it just lays that foundation for the rest of your day, because you're not sometimes that 1 hour goes to like 5 hours if you're scrolling. I mean, see your screen time, and I'm sure all of us here would be embarrassed and like put our phone away. So that is something we need to work on. I do a workout in the morning and then I swim in the afternoon or evening. And I just find this more than anything just time for myself. I'll tell you something interesting that happened today. So I was working out today, and I wake up very early in the morning and run to the gym, sometimes empty stomach. 7:30, by 8 I like to be in the gym. So I worked out in the morning this morning, and I did a very heavy workout. I did strength training. I really pushed myself. And my trainer tells me, okay, we finish this with a 2-minute sprint on the treadmill. So I was like, okay, 2 minutes, it's so easy. And he put it on a very high speed, and I started running, and 1 minute 30 seconds down, I'm like, I cannot do this. I think I'm done. I've had a great workout. Let's end it. And he said, no, you will finish it. And I realized those last 30 seconds that I ran, which I did not want to run, was actually my whole workout. Because the fact that I could push my mind to tell my body, you've got this and you can do this, was so fulfilling that it just made me feel I could do anything if I put my mind to it. And I feel like that's the whole game. Everything, you know, we often allow our mind to get the better of us and tell us what we can and cannot do. But if you have control, that's the only thing we need to have control on, is our mind. I can't control you, I can't control your thoughts, I can't control anybody else, but I can control my own. And I feel like giving yourself that power to not get the better of you is half the battle won. And it was, I mean, I don't know, but for me, I cannot even explain to you the happiness and fulfillment I got of finishing that 30-second run.
Yeah.
I feel that is something, and I say this out of what's worked for me, and if I can share this with people, that in a world where there's so much fear, and we all have it, it's not that I don't, there are times very often where I feel anxiety, stress, fear, all of these emotions. But that's when I remember, no, you just have to have faith and you have to keep going. And I say this because this is what worked for me when I just debuted and came into the industry. Not knowing after my first film what's going to happen. I was like, I've entered this career and I've gotten into the movies, but now what? Back then, I always thought that you just had to get your first film और उसके बाद फिल्में तो मिल जाएगी. But that's not the case. And that's not even the case after commercial successes. There's a lot of hard work and effort. It's always film to film, Friday to Friday. That's how our business is. There's no guarantee or there's nothing permanent here. So back then, when post my first film, even though everybody had, a lot of the reviews had written, oh, she's a newcomer to watch out for, she's very competent, good reviews, but because we didn't have the commercial success, it was in a way a setback to not, I was not getting those offers, or nobody even knew who I was back then. But I had that belief in myself and I had that faith in myself, and I said that this is something that nobody can take away from me. And whatever the craft that I'm honing or the work that I'm putting into it, nobody can take this away from me. This is mine. And this is what I'm holding on to, and this is what I know that's going to get me. So I just kept working. Because I said, I just want to work. Whatever it is. And you never know which door opens where. So whether it's a song, whether it's a short film, whether it's a character role, whether it's a film on an OTT platform or the biggest successful film, it takes all of those opportunities to kind of get you to where you want to go, and you just have to start enjoying that journey. And the only way I could was by having faith, and that's what I feel. I feel the few things I've learned in these 10 years is to have the courage to be disliked. Don't take rejection personally. Don't seek external validation. Of course, take constructive criticism. You need to, know how to differentiate between the two. But for me, it's about that internal validation. It's about, everyone has that voice inside which is telling you, you're doing it right, you're doing well, or you need to step it up, you're not doing enough, you need to push yourself, and you have it in you to do that. So I feel you need to listen to your own voices, which we often forget because there's so much noise around us, we don't know how to cut it off. But that's what faith does, I guess. When you have faith in yourself, you have the ability to remove all those external voices and noises which, could be a hindrance to get you to where you want to be.
Kiara, you are amazing. You have success, you have beauty, you have brains, and you have a great soul. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.